With the growing failures of the Crunchyroll anime wars, every single year, the desire for people to have another outlet for expressing their favorites of each year has been growing and growing. And thus, you have different groups like Anime Corner, Anime Trending, and yes, even myself having our own little community voting system to kind of get better, let's say better opinions out there than just the mainstream picks from the mainstream judges, and yes, the popularity voting of a bunch of shonens winning. But yes, every single year people say, hey Andrew, you always cover the Crunchyroll Anime Awards because, let's face it, it gets the most views and most people care about it and want to laugh at it. Why don't you cover Anime Corner? Why don't you cover Anime Trending? Why don't you cover Reddit? All that kind of stuff. So I thought I'd do that this year. Anime Corner has just released their picks, their winners for the Anime of the Year 2024, and I thought I'd go through it and let's see if it fits my taste. Let's see if they actually have some good picks in here. I'm already seeing a face on here that I'm already loving. I'm seeing actually technically 3 good faces on here, but one that I'm pretty sure will probably get snuffed once again this year with Anime Crunchyroll Awards. So let's just dive into it. I think they kick things off. Yeah, they kick things off with the Anime of the Year. So we're getting right into it. We're getting right into it. Yes, let's start from the bottom. We already see it at the top there, but let's start from the bottom. Ragna Crimson. I dropped out of it very early. I heard a lot of good things about it, so I'm happy that got some attention there. Day Live Season 5, I watched it. I enjoyed a bit of it, but I have my criticisms. Oshinoko Season 2, all for that. That was actually, I think, higher on my list. Let me see if my list had it in there. Yeah, it's about the same place on my list. I think I'm about in the 6th area. Dandadan, I had that at 10. It's good to see it up here. It deserves it. It was a really fun series. Apothecary Diet. Now we're getting into my list. Now we're getting to my stuff. Number 5, Days My Stepsister. That is absolutely fantastic. Now, truthfully, I didn't have it in my top 10 of the year. That's because I had a lot of really good stuff there, but I'm happy to see it get attention. I'm happy to see it again. Even if it's not my placement, I'm happy to see it get attention. I think I did see a lot of whispers that Anime Corner specifically, a lot of people in that community were really enjoying it. I think in the Anime Trending, it had a lot of attention there, so I wouldn't be surprised that it gets attention here as well. Good to see that. It was a really excellent series. Definitely go check it. Number 3, Makeine. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Love it. Love to see it. I'm really concerned that might not get any attention in the Crunchyroll Anime Awards. And again, I want to express this now to get it out of the way so I don't have to repeat it every single time. I still acknowledge Crunchyroll. Even though they kicked me out of the judging system that I was in a part of like for 7 years straight, probably because I criticized them. And I have my issues with their judging system and how they do nominations and how they're way too focused on mainstream rather than what's actually good. Like, you can legitimately say, even though something is extremely popular, it's not the best in storytelling with every single category. There's stuff out there that the mainstream's not catching attention of because it doesn't get clicks. They're not going to cover Days My Stepsister because barely anybody's watching it compared to Demon Slayer, and thus they nominate Demon Slayer because that's all they're really covering, and then the majority of people who all just watch one show, which is Demon Slayer, which is not to say it's a bad show, it's just, in my opinion, not the best in every single category in those storytellings and whatnot. But I still acknowledge Crunchyroll because it has that mainstream catch. And whatever gets on there ends up getting people's attention. And that was my expressed desire when I was a judge there, is to get out to the public, hey, this is incredible. Even if it's only nominated, this is incredible. Mass public see this. Where unfortunately other groups like, Anime Corner and Anime Trending is not going to get mainstream attention. That's why I always give it the attention that it sadly needs. But anyways, back to the list. Makeine is incredible. Seeing it there makes me extremely happy, and I'm concerned that Makeine might not actually get on Crunchyroll's. It maybe on a comedy, possibly. We'll see. Frieren's obviously going to be on Crunchyroll, and I'm loving seeing it here. It deserves all the attention it can get. It caught like a fire. And I think it was one of those things where you just can't ignore Frieren. You have to pay attention to it. It's too dang gorgeous, and the storytelling's way too fantastic. This is actually lining up with what I chose. Number 2, I had Frieren as well. Number 1, Danger My Heart. I had it as well. So Anime Corner, for at least 2 and 1, matches my Anime of the Year for 2024. So whoever voted in this, the 10% people there, I agree with you. 100%. Makeine was down at like 5 for my list, but this is a great list. Again, despite the fact that there's like 3 things here I would have nowhere near my 10 list. Windbreaker, Day Live, Ragnar Crimson, no, not in my list. I had like Gushing Over Magical Girls, I had Spice and Wolf, I had Mushoku Tensei, Dead to Demons, dandadan. There's a lot of other stuff that I had in my list before these things, so it's still good though. Very, very good list. And yes, by the way, they had like 51,000 people voting, so really good little pool there. Let's move on to Action of the Year. Action of the Year, they have number 1 is Bleach, which is deserved. Really fantastic seeing that number 1 up there. Everything else in this list, dandadan should be way higher. Dandadan should be way higher. Soul Leveling, no. For me, no. I think it's a cool action show. And yeah, I probably suggest to people for an action show, but Soul Leveling Season 1 was not a great story. Season 2 has been absolutely amazing, but Season 1 was not great for me. Kaiju number 8 is great as well. Wistorio is great as well. I didn't care for the story there as well. That's kind of similar to Soul Leveling. Didn't care for the story. Great action. So good picks for the action category. I don't think that there's really anything that I had in my list that was like big in that area. Near Part 2, that's a huge one. Ishida, that's a huge one. So they missed Ishida and they missed Nier. I was kind of expecting Ishida to be here. Hopefully it ends up in anime trendings lists, but we'll see. Moving on from there, we have Adventure of the Year. Was there a doubt? Like, it's the epitome of adventure is frieren Beyond Journey's End. Maybe Spice and Wolf, and I hope they have Spice and Wolf up here. I guess some people wouldn't call Spice and Wolf adventure, and most people are going to put it into, like, you know, drama and romance, but come on. This is dungeon, I agree, 100%. Mushoku Tensei, definitely agree, especially this season that we got into with part 2 of season 2. Definitely makes sense. Shangri-La Frontier, I don't blame people on that one. No Longer Allowed in Another World, really solid pick as well. Dragon Ball Daima, yeah, technically, yeah. I had to think about it for a second, but yeah. These are good picks, though, but frieren Beyond Journey's End, that's a sweep, dude. That is a sweep. That is a sweep with 30%. There was no doubt there. Let's be honest. There was no doubt there. It would be way up there. The epitome of adventure right there. Moving on to movie. I didn't watch any movies. For those who don't know, movies take me about 6 hours. I was looking at the Gundam movie here recently. It's like a 6-hour drive total. It's like I can't watch movies, unfortunately. They just come out. But yeah, cool. See there. Great. Didn't get to watch any of this stuff, but cool on this stuff. That's great. Moving on. Adaptation of the Year. Frieren. Frieren's going to clean sweep, isn't it? Frieren's going to clean sweep. Yeah, again, if you think about the idea of the quality and work that was given to it, dandadan and Frieren and Days. I think these 3, I don't have a category for adaptation, but I would easily put Days My Stepsister, dandadan, and Frieren. And yeah, Dangers too. I think these top 4 are all fantastic picks. These are all fantastic, and I would get Bleach in there as well. I'm not sure about season 2 of Mushoku Tensei. With how incredible these 4 are, Mushoku's not going to match. I love Mushoku, y'all know, but there's quite a few choices that they've made with the adaptation of season 2 that I am not liking. But it's still a good adaptation. But compared to these, like the directorial work that was given to Days was fantastic. Such great shots. Dandadan looks incredible. Action's incredible. The voicing's been incredible. Frieren, it's Frieren and Danger are examples of transcending the source material, where they stand on their own as not an adaptation but a thing of their own. These things took the source. There's things that I don't want to read the source material because I'm loving the adaptation so much. That's why I've read them side by side, but I prefer the adaptation. Similar to Oshinoko, there's some cases that I prefer to just watch it rather than read it. But yeah, these are good picks. First, especially Frieren. Moving on, animation of the year. Was there? Between these 2, that's a hard one, and it looks like that was the case with whoever voted. 18%. We're talking 0.8. That's a toughie between those 2, animation wise, between dandadan and Frieren. I would argue I prefer Frieren because with dandadan there's way too many muted and monochrome colors, I guess is the best way to put it, where it's just one solid color that is shaded, which I think does match what they're trying to pull off there, which is like that hint of like some supernaturals hitting them, and thus it has a solid color to give that sense of where they're at. But I don't like it after a while. Whenever I think about it, it bugs me. Not that it ruins it. Frieren, on the other hand, just full through absolutely gorgeous. I will say the action scenes in Frieren are something I wish everybody would take notes of. The action scenes in Frieren are amazing, especially like that last fight. My gosh, it's like there was so much like chaos, and I knew exactly where the characters were, what was happening. It was gorgeous. Just incredible stuff in Frieren. Dandadan, a lot of the action scenes were great. I will admit that like there was some points where I kind of felt like a little lacking with the action scenes, like especially when they were in the hallway and they were fighting the Nessie and the crab guy and all that kind of stuff, lobster guy. That stuff, it was like, okay, what is there something going to happen here? So yeah, I could see where there's a lot of cases where everyone kind of beats it, but I don't blame people. There was a lot of great scenes, especially like the whole like chase scene and stuff like that. Great stuff. Again, Solo Leveling's great animation as well. Hashira training arc, I've forgotten most of that show, but yeah, it's always got great animation. It's ufotable, but cool stuff here. See that up there. Moving on to character designs. Windbreaker, I guess I had to win something. I'm mixed. I'm mixed when it comes to Windbreaker. I think there's a lot of designs that I do like, and there's some of them that just are a bit too much. They're just a bit too much. They don't look human in some cases. Dandadan, I find it to be very unique, and I love it. Frieren's fantastic as well. You can probably say with Frieren, there's a lot of cases of sameness or normalcy, I guess is the best way to put it, where the characters don't have much uniqueness to them or flair to them to make them look unique. But I think it's trying to be more grounded, whereas something like Windbreaker is trying to make every character look very different so that you know who's on the screen and you know who's in the source material, whatever. Apothecary Diaries, I love the designs. I'm not sure how high I would put that. Too Many Losing Heroines, I'd probably put really high. I really do like the heroines ones. I think that one is the character designer behind Liquid Coil, and I love the character designs there as well. So I think of all these, I would probably put Too Many Losing Heroines at number one. I think that would probably be my pick there. Alya, I agree with as well, but it's because I just love the characters. They're cute. Come on. But whatever. That's great. A comedy of the year. I'm gonna probably hurt with this one. Let me bring up my list because I'm probably gonna get really bugged out here because comedy's subjective. Everybody's got a different opinion here. I am happy with Konosuba season 3. I really did like season 3, so I'm good with that. Losing Heroines was my number one. Yes, it is hilarious. Like there was not a single episode that I did not have at least, even when the episode was serious, there was at least one point where I'm laughing. There was so many funny parts in Too Many Losing Heroines. I think that's a great series. Delicious Dungeons, yeah, I didn't put it very high on my list, but I see it. Rom 1/2. I love the show. I can't say the comedy is 100% kind of aged well, but it's still a solid series. No, I lost my funny bone with 2.5 dimensional seduction very quickly. I can't agree with this. Gushing, what? We got some gushing fans over there at Anime Quarter. Awesome. Awesome. That was my number 2. Awesome stuff. I'm glad to see that. So that's my number 1 is on there. My number 2 is on there. No Longer Loud. I love it. I 100% great. I got a lot of laughs out of that one. It wasn't my top 5 list, but it would probably be my top 10 easy. I Was Reincarnated as Seventh Prince. No, this show was not funny. This show was not funny. No, no. The ecchi was funny, but for the most part, that show was not funny to me. No, can't agree with you there. What else did I have? Dandadan I had on my list as well, and Roshidere, mostly around Yuki mostly. One that they miss here, and I'm kind of surprised, I was hoping that at least this one or maybe anime trending will get, is a group of people that understood the beauty and wonderfulness that is Magic Girl and the Evil Lieutenant. That was my number 3. Unfortunate not to see it here. It's an incredible show. Please go watch it. It was hilarious. So there you go. Konosuba, deserved though. Drama of the year. Love to see it. Love to see it. Love to see it. Love to see it. Not my number 1, but I love to see it. Again, anywhere this can be and get attention, that's great. Again, this is why I like other opinions besides just Crunchyroll Anime Awards, is getting these other sites that are going to prop up things. Like I want Crunchyroll to prop up things that are not mainstream, that people can see, look, you're missing out on this. That's what I feel in some cases these top lists should be, is saying, yes, we acknowledge this great thing, but here's this other stuff. Check it out. You're missing this other stuff. Go look at this other stuff. Days of My Stepsister, love it. Apothecary Diaries, love it. Frieren, how high was that in my list? I'm not sure I don't even have it in my drama list. I don't really know that I would put it in a drama list. It does have very heavy subject points, don't get me wrong, but it's I think the adventure sort of kind of shifts the balance quite a bit there. Oshinoko, I think, is in my top list. Yeah, my top number one is Oshinoko. Very heavy show. ReZero, I didn't have it in my list, just mainly because it was still ongoing, but I don't know. That's a struggle for me. I would have to think about that. Yes, Mushoku Tensei, of course. Very heavy drama segment, especially in Season 2, Part 2. Daily Live, no, there's a big fan of Daylight fans, and Anime Corner's got some Daily Live fans for sure, but no. Orb, again, it wasn't my list because it's still ongoing, but I heavily agree with that one. I really, especially the first core, love Orb. So again, great to see that get attention. So good stuff here, though. This is definitely a huge, heavy balance up here. So cool balance there for sure. Moving on to Fantasy of the Year. Obviously, Frieren was going to be up there. Fantasy was obviously going to be up there. What was my number one? Yeah, my number one's Frieren too. So I 100% agree with that one. Mushoku Tensei was my number two, so that goes up here. Solo Leveling, again, Season 1, I wasn't a massive fan of. Wistoria, if somebody asked me for Fantasy, and I'm like, hey, if you don't care, if you're okay with like a pretty blah main character, some repetitive nature of the whole, like, everybody hates his guts and he does cool stuff, sure, but was not my favorite. I would still suggest it though. It's fine. That's pretty much it, I think, on my list that's on here. I still had Delicious Dungeon, Yatagarasu. You guys couldn't have some show of Yatagarasu. I hope Yatagarasu's somewhere in here, or again in anime trending. That's another one that is not mainstream that I think a lot of people are kind of missing out on. And I had Ishida, which again doesn't seem like many people on this site are paying attention to Ishida, which is fine. It's not going to be everybody's like, but Frieren, obviously, easy take there. Let's go to mystery suspense of the year. Interesting. Apothecary Diaries, I no doubt that would have to be high up there. I think that was pretty high on my mystery as well. I do mystery supernatural together, so it's a bit different on my list. No, I had Yatagarasu on my number one. But yeah, Apothecary Diary was right behind it with number two. I've also had Monogatari series on there as well, Witch and the Beast and Dandadan, which doesn't surprise me. None of those are in here. Oshinoko, yeah, for mystery, solid. I would argue that the mystery aspect of it is kind of a more of a background, the overall story that it's trying to very slowly dig into, but they did get into it with this season, for sure, so it makes sense. It's just more of the back end. Like the back end of this season was like suddenly, okay, let's get into what's going on over here. Let's go back to your hometown or back to this hospital. Now we're going to dig into this stuff finally. ReZero, yeah, again, wasn't in my list because it was ongoing. Classroom Elite, I fell off of that a long time ago. I'll have to take you guys' word for it. Black Butler, again, have not even touched it, so no. Shoshimin, people, do you think the mystery behind how the guy mixed cocoa without using a bunch of silverware is your top mystery of the year? I'm joking for the most part. Shoshimin was a bit of a letdown for me, but it had some good moments in the later part of it and the earlier part of it. Directing was top notch, dude. Visually and directing was beautiful. Beastars, cool to see that there. Mysterious Disappearances, actually surprised to see that there. That's cool though. What else we have? Original anime of the year. All right, people, get your jabs in. All right, people, get their jabs in. Girls Band Cry, taking number one. Surprised to see Code Geass in there. I didn't hear anybody say they watched that, so that's cool. This was my number one, Jellyfish Can't Swim in the Night. I think that was easily my number one original, if I remember correctly. I had quite a few of them on my list, but not like a big list compared to usual weeks or usual years. Yeah, Jellyfish is my number one, Negative Positive 2, Train to the End of the World 3, Brave, Bang, Bravern, and Bang Dream, It's My Go. Surprised no Bang Bravern in here. I would figure like there's going to be like a cult following for Bravern, but I guess that was just kind of a a small little spark for some point, people believing it was something great, and then they got bored of it. Metallic Rose, really? It is surprisingly negative positive angler in there. That's cool. That's very cool. But yeah, that's my Knock a Punch. I wanted to be good. I wanted it to be good. I wanted it to be good. But yeah, Girls Band Cry, I did enjoy it. I felt it was a bit melodrama-y for my taste. That's why Jellyfish bumped up for me at the number one, but it's cool. I love the fact that there was like a debate for the longest time on our community between these two. Like every time I talked about Jellyfish, they go like, "Me, Girls Band Cry was better. Girls Band Cry better." So I'm assuming there's a group of people that didn't like that Jellyfish got any attention. They wanted to all go to Girls Band Cry, obviously because it got licensed officially and so it was available easily. But there was like this great thing where suddenly these two have a collab, and I'm like, that seems like justice. Everybody that wanted you to like one or the other, it's like you can like both. Anyways. Romance. Damn straight. Damn straight. Deserved. And I'm going to laugh so hard when Crunchyroll snubs it. Deserved. Just because it ain't on Crunchyroll doesn't mean it can't be the number one, because it is the number one. My gosh, dude. Danger of My Heart continues to get better and better and better. It's amazing. It took like episode 3, I think, in first season before it just started taking off, and it's never let go. Like every episode of season 2, I kept saying, when is it going to not stop getting better? I was waiting for the drop off. I was waiting for it to at least plateau, but no, it just keeps getting better. This show is incredible. Love it. 21, that's the gap. I'm just happy it's there. I would hope that would be a bigger gap. Who the hell is voting for Blue Box over this? That's the question mark. You all like Blue Box over this? You like Boy is obsessed with Girl because he's seen her cry and he's ignoring Best Girl? I'm joking. I haven't watched much of it after I realized it was a love triangle that was going to go in an obvious direction. I stopped watching it. Two Loving Losing Heroines. That's great to see that number 3 as well. I think it should be number 2. Sign of Affection. It was solid. If somebody wanted romance, I would definitely recommend it. Pseudo Harem, I started liking it towards the end of it. Rom 1/2, it's solid. I wouldn't really back it. It's more rom-com-y, but it does have a solid romance that builds up over time. I just don't think it's there yet. Grandma Grandpa Turn Young Again. That's interesting to see that there as well. Archdemon Dilemma. What's missing from my list? I'm curious about romance and what's missing from my list here. Romance, I had Dangers, makeine. There is again. Y'all missing Magical Girl and the Evil Lieutenant. That's an easy pick there. An easy pick there. Spice and Wolf, where people? You didn't want to put it in adventure. I would assume you were going to put it in romance. Days of My Stepsister. I guess some people can argue it's not romance. It is legit romance. It's literally like 90% of it. So I'm surprised that even though it was heavy elsewhere, no Days of My Stepsister over here. Interesting. That's fine. Sci-Fi of the year, Kaiju number 8, won't argue. I would like Nier to be number 1, but that's a massive gap. That is a massive gap. Undead Unluck, yeah, that's good. Gun Gale, I guess because it's VR. It's gotta be in the sci-fi category. Demon Lord, I would put this higher. I love Demon Lord 2099. Atari is solid. Regular Magic High, didn't watch it. I gave up on that show a long time ago. Ninja Kamui, I feel like we're missing some heavy ones in here. What are we missing? It feels like a gap here. Dead of Demons, that would have been good in the list. Bang Bravern, fine. These are good. These are solids. Slice of Life, again, dangers. Keep giving it all the attention. Put it in every category. I'm all for it. I'm gonna back y'all on this. Days of My Stepsister. Yeah, a Slice of Life. I would put in that category. Again, more romance and drama than Slice of Life, but that's good. Slice of Life gets a really loose term. It's very hard to kind of keep it solidified what Slice of Life is, because even with Aoya, it's very loose. Girls Band Cry, I think, is a solid Slice of Life. More drama though. These are all good picks though, but yeah, I think this last year's strictly Slice of Life was very weak, so it doesn't surprise me that it's more outstretched. Sound Euphonium, where's that out? That's like the most Slice of Life out of anything last year, and y'all didn't have it. Well, I had number 1 was Sound Euphonium. I had makeine. Jellyfish Can't Swim at Night, Negative Positive Angler, and Sign of Affection. Which again, Sign of Affection, I think is a little more romance, but they're good picks. They're good picks. Any point we can get more dangers, I'm fine. Even if I can't really claim it's slice of life. Soundtrack, yes, give it to dangers. Dandadan is amazing as well. Kaiju had great soundtrack as well. Obviously, Sawano Hiroyuki, I'm going to love for Solo Leveling. Days of My Stepsister, I would have to think about that. I don't recall the music there, so that's a question mark for me. But these are all good picks up here. All solid picks up here. Good picks. I'm loving this list so far. Sports, I don't know. I don't know. Dangers? That's storytelling. I skipped it. I was about to say dangers. Back up here, Andrew. I like Tonbo. That's about it. These are the ones I mostly dropped or didn't care about, so I'll take your guys' word on it. Storytelling of the year. Days of My Stepsister. This is a tough one. I'm sorry. This is a tough category. Storytelling. What is storytelling, I guess, is the question mark, because that's like anime of the year and whatnot. Is storytelling the same as anime of the year? I guess it's technically a combination there, is anime of the year, whereas storytelling is strictly just a story. But, yeah, you're basically getting just anime of the year territory. So these are anime of the year. So I don't know. I don't know if I can really argue with some of this stuff. But that's fine. Let's say specifically what it is. Yeah, it doesn't say exactly what it means. Anyways, moving on. Voice cast, I don't really mind. World building of the year, for sure, Frieren and ReZero. Frieren and ReZero here. A little bit of Mashiko Tensei, but I would just say Frieren and ReZero. There's no competition. I can't really argue with anything else. And that's it. That's Anime Corner's Anime of the Year picks. I like I said before, really good stuff. I'm actually very happy with this list. I gave you guys what mine was, and I was very few cases where I was really straying from this list. So hats off to all the voters. Hats off to the picks. You guys did good. Just a heads up, Anime Trendings I think releases in March 10th. So they'll be doing their voting between January 6th and February. They're already done with the voting. So stay tuned for that. I will probably do a video on that one as well. But this was good. This was really good. Again, in the wake of how Crunchyroll seems to be getting worse and worse with their, again, more push to the popularity, which, yes, if you argue, is technically true. The stuff they're picking is what the majority of people have watched. And that's the unfortunate thing, is the majority of people only watch 1 or 2 shows a year. And those are the ones that kind of sweep the entire board. So to get sites like this where you have more of a focused popularity of just anime fans that are actually voting for it and choosing stuff is really great. So great picks, good choices. But that's my thoughts. I hope you guys enjoy this video. As always, if you hit the like button down below, comment. Let me know. Do you think these are better than Crunchyroll Anime Awards? I know it's an easy answer. I'm baiting from comments. I'm baiting for comments. What do you think? Do you think Crunchyroll Anime Awards is going to have better picks than this garbage? Let me know. But if you like this content, you want more time, more, I have links in the description below. Greatly appreciate it. But until next time, y'all take care.